Namaste. Namaste. My name is Uma Dinsmore-Tuli. Welcome to the extraordinary and astonishing world of Yoga Nidra. Thank you for your interest in this remarkable practice. I'm here in the morning by the river Pera in northern Portugal, and I wanted to introduce you to two ideas. One is Total Yoga Nidra. Total Yoga Nidra being a full spectrum of practices of Yoga Nidra that really honor and incorporate many, many different schools, many protocols, many approaches to Yoga Nidra in a way that's just right for you right now, so that the choices and the intuitive understanding of what form of Yoga Nidra is appropriate is really nourished by the many rivers of traditions and schools that have flowed into this practice of Yoga Nidra. So that's what Total Yoga Nidra is. It's honoring and respecting all of these different forms and finding what's appropriate for any particular individual at a certain point. So it's never one size fits all. It's always really uniquely arising in the moment. And Wild Nidra is my particular passion and delight. Wild Nidra allows us to bring the protocols and the forms of Yoga Nidra, this meditative heart of Yoga Nidra practices, out into nature. If we're able to be in a beautiful place like this in the morning with the steam rising off the river and everything alive and burgeoning, so that we can bring those practices of Yoga Nidra into nature with the sounds of the birds and the rivers. And so I've recorded a little taste of Wild Nidra for you, which I hope you will enjoy. And yeah, if we can't be in nature, we can carry the wildness of our true nature. That's like a big openness of awareness that welcomes all of this in. And we can use Yoga Nidra to help us do that, to be more present to all of the beauty that arises in this world. So I really trust and hope that you will enjoy this practice of Yoga Nidra. It's slightly chilly here in the morning. And yeah, the Wild Nidra is a little taste of how Wild Nidra can be. I trust you'll be inspired to take your Nidra practice out into this beautiful world. So, namaste, thank you, and enjoy. Welcome home. Welcome home to yourself. And welcome to this practice of Total Yoga Nidra, with the intention simply to welcome a morning awakening here by the river with the sound of the birds. Allow this body to rest and to welcome all of these sounds and all of the other sounds that are audible. Resting this body at the center of a great circle of sound. Centered in this place, settled in this place, making whatever adjustments or alterations need to be made to the body in order to rest this body in comfort. Welcoming the arising of each breath and letting the sound of each breath be part of this audio landscape that never before existed and will never again be, just how it is right now. Welcome home to yourself. And welcome with each breath the sense of a full cycle, as if in this awakening morning practice, it could be a feeling of the dawn arising with every breath that comes in, every inhalation welcoming dawn light into an awakening body, and every exhalation allowing for that outgoing breath to settle the body into a quieter place where rest is still there at the end of each exhalation, as if touching back into the night time of rest at the end of the exhalation, and welcoming the morning with the beginning of each inhalation, feeling how it is to allow this circle of breath to ease the body into awakening from out at the edges of the nighttime, at the end of the exhaling breath, where the deep rest is. Welcome this dawning breath in, as if now those waves of dawn, that incoming breath, would come onto the shore of the night time with an awakening, enlivening welcome for the morning. Every breath in, like the waves of dawn now coming in onto the shore of the nighttime, and every exhalation just a little awareness traveling back in to that resting place. Feel as the breath is coming in, how it carries up to a fullness of brightness like the middle of the day, and feel how when the breath is going out, it travels down into the darkness of the night, of that resting place from which the breath comes to awaken and enliven each morning. As if in this full cycle of breath now, every breath in like the dawn, the fullness of the breath like the middle of the day, and every breath out like the afternoons and the evenings when the breath is traveling out, like when the body starts to settle down into the rest at the end of the exhalation in the night time, and let this travel around, effortlessly unfolding the cycles of the day in the circles of the breath. Inhalation is dawn, fullness of the breath the middle of the day, exhalation like the afternoon and the evening down into the night time of the breath at the end of where that exhalation comes into a little pause before it comes back in again. As if these circles of breath would effortlessly circle around, welcoming in the cycle of the energy of a whole day, with every breath flowing like the sound of the river, with the bird song above, the flowing of the river and the flowing of the breath, and the coming and going of each breath like the dawn and the dusk. The dawn and the dusk in the breath. Welcoming this cycle of flowing life circles in every breath, resting deep with nourishment in the wildness of the true nature that simply, with the openness of awareness in Yoga Nidra, welcomes all that is. Deep in the wildness of your true nature as this body rests, welcoming all the sounds, breath, river, bird song, and all the other sounds which can be heard are welcome in this moment. And in this moment, as this body rests, allow for the awakening of the inhalation to move through the whole of the body, as if in this dawning of the new day, this feeling of enlivening breath could move all the way up the body, from the heels to the back of the head on the inhalation, and all the way down the body from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes down the front of the body on the exhale, like a great cycle of breath, enlivening and awakening now. Inhalation up, heels to the top of the back of the head, and exhalation over from the crown to the toes. Exhaling down the front, inhaling the awareness up the back, and with balance and ease, with the openness of awareness which is Yoga Nidra, welcoming in the sound of this breath and the little movements which accompany it. In each wild breath that unfolds, allow for life herself to come in on that inhalation all the way up to the top of the crown of the head, and an ease and welcome traveling down the front of the body from the top of the head to the toes. Welcoming this new day, welcoming this new breath, welcoming in this body an openness of awareness which is Yoga Nidra. Allowing, accepting, welcoming the awakening of this new day. Carry this joyful welcome into everything that unfolds perhaps this day. In the openness of awareness which is Yoga Nidra, welcome home to yourself. Welcome home to the deep wildness at the heart of true nature that allows for this acceptance and presence. Let that carry out with you in every breath today. Every sound is welcome. Every perception that arises in awareness is welcome. In the openness of awareness, which is Yoga Nidra, be at home to yourself in this body, in every breath, in this day. This little taste of wild Nidra is coming to a close. And you're welcome to stretch and yawn and wriggle and sigh and do whatever feels just right and delicious to carry this awareness out with you today. Stretching and yawning and opening the eyes, this practice of Total Yoga Nidra, this taste of wild Nidra, this encounter with the restful powers of Nidra Shakti herself is complete. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Be at home to yourself today.